Hey coaches, if you're here, that means that you care about making your practice more neuro-inclusive. That's a big deal because coaching isn't just about helping people set goals. It's about understanding how they think, how they work best, and how they can thrive. And let's be real, neurodivergent clients, those with ADHD, autism, dyslexia, and more, they have so much potential if they're just given the right kind of support. I can tell you that's true from personal experience. But here's the thing, some coaching models, like most corporate cultures, aren't always a good fit in bringing these strengths out. That's why today I'm giving you a 5-step process for building a neuro-inclusive coaching practice. And it's based on something that we all have, a brain. Yep, you heard me right. A brain, B-R-A-I-N. Let's break it down. B stands for build a structure that meets your client's needs. Now, when I say structure, I don't mean rigid rules. I mean having a flexible framework. So here are a couple quick tips when it comes to structure of your coaching practice. Are you meeting in person? Are you meeting outside? Are you meeting inside? Are you meeting during business hours or after business hours? Perhaps you're going to do your coaching practice remotely and meet over video calls. That's how I have mine set up, for example. You may want to do phone only, or you could even consider text message based coaching. That's part of my coaching practice. Now, when it comes to the actual coaching sessions themselves, I use what I call a soft structure. Using a clear session agenda helps the client to know what to expect and reduce anxiety. Providing visuals such as checklists, agenda outlines, summaries, or even frequently talked about topics might help your clients that could struggle with some working memory problems. And speaking of brain processing speeds, don't be afraid to allow there to be silence, because silence can be golden. It's not bad, it's just thinking time. Think of it this way, structure isn't meant to be controlling. After all, we all know it's meant to be client-centered and client-led. It's about creating a safe, predictable space where clients can show up as their best selves. Number 2 is R. Respond with respect to requests. Here's the thing, I realize that not all of you are certified ADHD coaches, and that's fine. So if you do end up coaching someone who identifies as neurodivergent, they may have some requests that are outside of your usual norm. For example, maybe they would request some off-camera sessions if eye contact's really tough for them. That's okay, and don't take that as an insult. That's meeting them where they are. Or if you notice that clients struggle with time management and punctuality, perhaps a gentle reminder text a half hour beforehand might be helpful. I know for my ADHD clients, I've made it a part of my practice, just standard across the board, to send 24-hour reminders as well as 30-minute reminders. Or maybe if a client wants some more time to process through what was covered during a coaching call, you can offer to send the recording of the session afterwards so the client can have that for their records. Here's the key. Any requests that clients make for these kind of accommodations, just know that these are reasonable. They're sensible shifts. Don't look at them as excuses or laziness. This is just them trying to get the most out of the coaching that they can. I find it best practice to ask the client, how can I best serve you? What works best for you? Respecting these requests, it's a powerful trust builder. And you know that establishing trust, that's one of our pillars as certified coaches. Doing this shows your clients that their requests are valid. Honoring these requests demonstrates to your clients that we value them, that their needs are valid, that their brains are welcome here. And especially for my clients who have ADHD, it lets them know that they can show up fully, authentically as themselves without having the need to mask or cover their real traits in order to try to blend in to more of a neurotypical society. And it allows them to have that reassurance that they don't have to mask or cover up their authentic traits just to force themselves into those neurotypical standards that they're so used to. Number 3 is A, adapt as needed. We all know that every coaching client is different. And if we want to be truly effective as coaches, we need to have the ability to be adaptable by meeting clients where they are and not forcing them to fit into a one-size-fits-all kind of model. Here's some tips on how to stay adaptable. In order to best serve different kinds of learning styles, you can offer things like worksheets. Others might love voice notes if they're an auditory processor like I am. Also be flexible on pacing. Some people might be lightning fast when it comes to processing speed. Others might need to mull things over a little bit. And speaking of that, consider taking breaks depending on how long your sessions are. Because I know for my clients who have ADHD, longer sessions can drain them. I can sort of see them glaze over. So that's why I have been very intentional about having 45-minute sessions, because I find that if we go much longer than that, both of us are not going to be at our best. Tip number 4 is integrate strengths. While neurodivergent clients certainly have some unique challenges, they have exceptional gifts. The amazing strengths, such as hyperfocus, creative problem solving, pattern recognition, and big picture thinking. Here's the thing to keep in mind. Many of them throughout their whole lives have been told, you're doing it wrong. Or, as I heard many times in my career, that's not how we do it here. Part of this is just about reframing challenges for them. One concept in my coaching practice that I talk about a lot is radical acceptance of our ADHD and some of our limitations. So for example, if someone feels like they may struggle with procrastination, that can be reframed as needing urgency in order to activate. Many clients, neurodivergent or not, may also struggle with something that I refer to as achievement amnesia. In other words, they forget to give themselves credit for all the things they have accomplished, which is why at the beginning of my coaching calls, I always say, what's something we can celebrate? And that gets the momentum moving in the right direction. When you coach from a strengths-based perspective, it helps to shift the client's mindset from I'm broken to I'm built differently. And that's a good thing. Tip 5 is to normalize. Normalize neurodiversity. See, there it is. Normalize. So when it comes to normalizing neurodiversity, for us as coaches, this doesn't mean just accommodating neurodivergent clients almost as an afterthought. No, it's about recognizing that different kinds of brains exist and that they all bring value. That's really what neurodiversity is all about. As my friend Dave Thompson would say, let's make neurodiversity less formal and more normal. So here's ways to normalize neurodiversity in your coaching practice. Even if you're not, here are some quick ways that you can normalize neurodiversity in your coaching practice. Use inclusive language. That could be as easy as saying something like, how does your brain work best? Or what do you think would be easiest for you? Or one of the ways that I like to phrase it to my clients is, where do you feel the least resistance out of all of these options? Because a lot of times we have to contend with that activation energy and that struggle getting started. And we're putting it this way instead of saying things like, well, since we know you struggle getting started, another way to normalize neurodiversity is to share success stories. And there are a lot of them out there of people who are neurodivergent. By normalizing neurodiversity, we're breaking through some of the outdated stigmas that may still exist and persist. And here's what it really comes down to. When we normalize neurodiversity, we're creating a safe space. Well, let's recap our brain framework for creating a more neuro-inclusive coaching practice. B, build structure that meets your client's needs. R is respond with respect to requests. A is for adapt as needed. We're always evolving. I is for integrating the strengths of our clients into our coaching and into their lives. And finally, N is about normalizing neurodiversity. This is about unlocking potential for your clients in a way that works with their brains rather than against it. And as someone who has had the honor of coaching people from 23 different countries around the world, trust me when I tell you that this works. When you implement these strategies, you're going to see your clients flourish in ways you never imagined. Do you want more neuro-inclusive coaching tips? Subscribe, just gently tap the bell. And from one coach to another, if you did find this helpful, please like, comment, and even share with one other coach you know who may have not known about this. So here's the call to action. I need you to comment below and let me know what is one action that you're going to take to become a more inclusive coach. The more engagement we get on this video, the more reach we can have and the more people we can help. Let's keep the conversation going. I'm Ryan Mayer, certified ADHD coach, corporate neuro-inclusion specialist, and master facilitator. We'll talk to you on the next video.